What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening to the overall market as we're starting to see new all-time highs. What's going on with this very big pump that happened? How things are looking, in my personal opinion. But before I begin devil's information, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks, and offer ends in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, for SPY, we pumped very nicely to the next resistance level, and we actually held support. Looking at the options chain, as you guys could tell, we actually have the majority of puts expiring, and right now almost all of them are out of the money. We have max pain at 530 with the 1.98 puts to call ratio, and so far the market makers are going after the shorts and continuing to squeeze the markets. Now, when we zoom out, I want to show you guys this. I drew out this trend line in the morning. I actually had this for quite some time, and I did call out that we could see this very important dip on SPY. And I told you that when we open, we're going to be looking for a rebound. If we lost this trend line, we would turn bearish. If we held this, we would rebound a bit. And then I told you all to watch resistance as we try to make our way back up. Now, I wasn't expecting to push all the way up to new all-time highs. I thought we might just push a bit and kind of consolidate a bit, but instead we're actually pushing higher than that. But overall, the uptrend remains as we're above the trend line. And as long as we're above this white trend line, we remain bullish. I want to make that very clear. So for SPY, the next resistance is going to be at 536. So you can see how SPY is kind of shuffling here. If we break this, 537.5 is on the table. Our support's at 535. If that fails us, we have an imbalance at 534. And then the trend line comes back as our key support. As long as we're above the trend line, we are bullish. We're in a buy the dip market where the market gets bought up again and again. So like right here, we touched the trend line, we bounced, we got bought back up, touched it again, and we bounced. So overall, the bulls are still winning. So we need to see if SPY could hold above this trend line, especially going into close, and we will favor the bulls. And as of right now, the trend remains bullish. SPY is still in favor of those bulls. All right, so for NVIDIA dipped all the way down to this 1180 area, but I told you we need to lose 1180 to turn bearish. I did say there was a risk of that. There is still that risk, of course, but we haven't really broken support at 1180 quite yet. We're actually testing resistance at 1192. That's our 50 EMA, and then 1200 is the next level above that. In my personal opinion, we're holding 1180, so we'll have to see how things go moving forward. But right now, NVIDIA is just kind of range bound. We have 1180 as support and 1200 as resistance. We've been going back and forth all day. If we lose 1180, there is going to be a risk of us coming down to fill this gap, but we're still holding it very well, in my personal opinion. For Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, is also forming a very nice looking bearish divergence right here, but we still have this resistance where it's kind of shuffling at. I said that Bitcoin may remain range bound. We might test 70,900 and retest 72,000, kind of trade sideways between the range. And that's what happened thus far, as we're still stuck for the time being. So I'll just have to see how things progress from here. Looking at Tesla is still trading sideways, but I'm seeing an attempt by Tesla try to break out. So I am seeing a breakout attempt, but we haven't officially broken 180 yet. So we want to see it try to break and hold 180 to turn bullish, close above 180. As of right now, it's holding up. We do have the shareholder meeting and a very important vote for next week. So that's going to be key for Tesla. There's a very good chance it could make a huge move next week. As of right now, it's holding up well, so we'll see how things go. For other tickers out there, I'm not going to focus on futures. On the QQQ, we're also pushing towards all-time highs. We dipped to our 50 EMA, and we're actually holding support very well, very nicely. So it's looking pretty good, at least on that end. I didn't actually draw a trend line. I feel like I should have done that. That's one thing I should have done a little differently. On the QQQ, if I take a trend line like this, let's actually pull out an extended trend line. We can start from this low right here, and we actually connect everything. As you guys can see, everything connects relatively well. How we've been holding above this trend line for quite some time. I could even kind of adjust this a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. We're still holding up very well, in my personal opinion. We're actually holding at these key levels. But the bottom line is, you guys can see QQQ overall is holding these levels. It's holding supports, and it's been on a very nice uptrend so far. Every time it hit the trend line, it's getting bought back up, just like SPY, and held above its 50 EMA. So it's a very good sign. We have resistance currently at this 465 zone. We have support all the way down here at 463. If we lose that, there's this trend line, and then 460 below that. Overall, we look more bullish. There's a good chance we could continue pushing. For Apple's looking more bullish. Watch 196 as resistance. We have support at 195. Overall, we're holding up well. There's potential in Apple trying to break out higher if we break 196, but overall, it's looking pretty good in my personal opinion. For other tickers out there, we also have, let me just double check this, Amazon. Amazon's also stuck within this area, still kind of shuffling, going back and forth and back and forth. We have 186 is resistance, 183.91 is support. It's going to likely, excuse me, it's going to likely continue to shuffle, at least for the time being. Meta's in the same boat. We're just shuffling as well on Meta. We will see if this gets a rejection or not. To be bearish, I want to see it lose this 492 area and start dipping down to 485. To be bullish, you want to see it break past 500. Otherwise, it's just range bound. And how about the memes? I know a lot of people are interested in GameStop and AMC. You know, the thing about AMC and GameStop is they're so manipulated with all these halts. It's just absolutely insane. We pumped and dumped all the way back down to this level. So I'm going to actually pull up the 4 hour time frame and show you guys this again. On the 4 hour, we're approaching that. Let me double check this. 34 area. If we lose that, this could be a bad sign for GameStop. This thing could start dipping even lower, and we're gonna see like a much bigger drop. If we hold it, we could try to rebound. For now, guys, not looking too good with all these halts and such. So, like I said before, there's a lot of manipulation with the stock. There's a lot of things being exposed that happen in the markets. So it is what it is. Just watch support. AMC has been testing support at 5.14. If we lose that, it's going to be tipping back down. Otherwise, it's just going to, try to, rebound a bit. But in my personal opinion, it's looking kind of weak with GameStop kind of following the trend. So it is what it is. We just have to continue moving forward. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. As right now, SPY is still on a very, very strong uptrend, holding up. We had that 536 resistance, and now our support's at 535. So we're still holding up. So we'll see how well this goes. Overall, the market remains bullish, though. We're still seeing the buyers stepping in, defending. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for listening, guys. Make sure you watch this trend line on SPY to see how well we hold up. But for now, the bulls are still winning. So we'll give this the time it needs and see if they could push us any higher later on. All right. With that being said, let me bring up two more things before I finish this. The VIX also happens to have this gap fill. So if we do continue to fall in the VIX and fill this gap, that could be because the market has more upside potential. Technicals still remain bullish. The dollar did rebound a bit as the market dipped, but now I think the dollar has potential to reject. We'll see if we close below our 200 EMA, which I think we still could do. So I'll just be waiting to see. The reason why the market kind of dipped is because the dollar popped, and also because of the data. So we'll give this the time it needs, and we'll see how things go moving forward. Let's see if this trend line holds as of right now. As long as SPY is above this white trend line, we are bullish. If we lose it, we will turn back to bearish. We're not really there yet, so we still favor bulls as of right now. All right. With that being said, I'll see you guys in a few hours again. Please take care, guys. Just know that the market has a lot of manipulation on Fridays. Sometimes Fridays can be very, very tricky. So just be wary of that, and I'll see you guys very soon. All right. Thank you and peace out.